Hey, greetings everybody. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be working on you know, the final part here, right? So right now, right, our environment.dev, right? We kind of need to add this object in, right, as a new method, right? So we're going to need a walkthrough, right? Going through this before. Actually, it shouldn't be that bad because it's not a iffy. So what we need to do, right? What we're gonna have to do here is we're gonna have to add these two in, right? The URLs. We're gonna have to add that in, right? So we kind of seeing that we're going to try to need a new property. So let's try to see how that goes. Right, so let's try to delete everything. Delete this. Oh, wrong one. Good. So that's kind of functional, as you kind of see. So what we kind of need to do here is we need to grab that file, right? So our file, and then I think what we want to try to do is I'm going to try to right? So we're going to need to update our scheme first things first, right? And then we're going to want to say the API path, right? So say route in, and now I'm going to need that, right? So this is required, so I'm going to have to add that in, right? So good. So that's that. And now what I want to try to do in my update service file is that I want to try to get this function here, right? So I'm going to say let me okay. I'll try to let it everything try catch, right? Because if that environment file is not there, then I'm just gonna fail basically because I don't want everyone to have an environment.dev. People may not like it, so uh, so say the target path equals this file. This is what I'm looking for, and then I'll just say host read. I'll try to do target file for the time because I'll know this is going to get refactored. So now then I'm going to go ahead and grab my source file like so. I'm going to create my source file. Right, I'm going to grab my source file here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the class. Right, so now I have the class. Now I have the class, and basically, what I want to try to do is I want to try to find this contact service. Right, so we kind of have access to that. So we kind of, if you saw from earlier, right? So I believe it's the capital ones. Not quite. I think it's something that service in here. Uh, right, it's going to be our service class name earlier, right? So basically, we're going to need this, and then we're basically going to look for this. We're going to look for this variable. Right. So what essentially we want to try to do, we want to try to name. So let's say service var. It's going to be a service variable. And then we're going to get the service class name. And then say prop. Right, so basically there's that, right? And now, what essentially we want to try to do is that we want to So we kind of have our property here. So essentially what we want to try to do is we want to try to iterate it, and then we're going to try to add it to the end. So so what that needs is that we're going to say our occurrences. Once again, really try to straightforward. Let's try to kind of use what we've kind of gone with in the past, right? So we want to say services is going to occurrence count, and properties doesn't exist, right? So as TS object. I think before that we gotta try to pull the nodes from it. So I'm gonna pull in a function called find nodes, and then it's going to take this property, and hopefully we can end up with an object label representing it. Right, so it's going to be, let's say, let j equal find nodes, like so. And then I'm going to go ahead. Also, there's the insert import, but we kind of live to see it every day from there, right? So now I got to say find nodes. X equals service get full text, right? And then just to make sure I kind of know what's going on, I'll say console log text. Right, and then I want to try to silence a couple things so I can see what's going on, because I'm not sure this is kind of ready yet. So silence a couple things, let that rebuild, and then we're going to try to see what's going on from there. Got a little error, I need the API route. So I'll just probably say contact service as well as all those. All right, good. So WML endpoint. So basically, I have my object kind of here. Say it's stopping there because I don't want everything to try to execute. I have to go back and forth with it. So basically, that's what we want to try to do. All right. Now back in my tab. Oh, so now let's try to work with everything. So now I have my object literal. Then I console log in here. Kind of annoy me when I think about it, but okay. So basically, I have my object here, right? And now, essentially, what I want to try to do is I want to try to get that insert position. So I'll say, let the insert position be like so. You don't really exist now, do you? So let method equal let method string equal this, right? So basically what I want to try to do is I want it to look like this in a way, right? So I say C, Control Shift C. want to try to get rid of all that white space. It's not really going to do it for you. Actually, I think this might. Hold on. So we're going to say last. I'm just going to say. Right, I'm going to also grab my indentation. Right, so I could try to indent it. I don't think it's going to really work for us, but we'll see. Then we're going to say let set final method strength, right, and then that's going to be our last route. It's not going to be our route. All right, so that's basically going to be that. There's no really route text. Endpoint text, so there's that. Then we're going to grab our change. We're going to make that change right here. And then we're going to say we'll do now update file host target path. Right, and then I think what I want to try to do is that I want to print out the target source file. So I want to say text, say console.log, so we can see what all that looks like before you kind of make that change, and then we should be good to go. Before I kind of do that, I kind of realized that that's not the option. It's not name. And then URL is going to be, let's say, routes, and it's going to say it's undefined. Let's say string. And we're going to see. And we're going to see what all it looks like. All right, so there we kind of have it. It's our service method, right? So I think that beginning was indented, but I think the rest of it doesn't need indented. So what I'll do is, just have to force it to be rolled here. Right. See what that looks like. All right. All right, good. Oh, reload. All right, so we're practically kind of done here, so I added the quotes just for good measure, but, I'm pretty sure everything's going to work out like so. So there it is, right? So if we kind of just go ahead and now, right, we kind of remove this schematic exception so we can see we can build. Try to see if we can get any instruments. It's the moment of the truth right here. If anything, it might just need this. Like I put the notes around it, and hopefully it doesn't get escaped somehow, or something like that, or some sort of string interpolation kind of makes it disappear. We don't want that to happen. So we're just gonna wait for it to load, and then we're gonna see the final result, the moment of truth, where my application, and then to boot, I gotta check if this still is running, right? So that's still running, right? And now I'm gonna try to check again. So that moment of truth, want to try to make sure everything's kind of running here. Good. So this is there's that, and now that the application is going to reload, and everything is kind of good to go. Then that means this gets to go to And yeah, so that looks really good. Everything's kind of done there the way that I wanted it exactly. So that's great. So now I don't have to use the snippets anymore. I just run a single command and then boom, my application's updated. So that's really overall how we kind of make a schematic in Angular and then complete our application. So thanks for watching.